Hello, everyone. Hope you're well on this Sunday morning. I have several things to cover. I'm going to give you some of my opinions on the tariffs because a lot of people are losing their minds over it. You're going to hear about that for a while. Keep the faith. All right, I'll go over that. I'll give you some bad news. I'll give you some good news. I will also kind of recap it with my whiteboard. Like some of you have said in the comments, I probably need a bigger whiteboard, especially for this year, y'all. And also, I have two short passages that are very good if you need reassurance, if you need some encouragement. Stay tuned for those passages. All right. One of them is pretty hard hitting, but they're both encouraging. All right. So stay tuned for that. 2025, I believe 2025 is going to be a tough ride. It's going to be a tough ride. It started that way. Even into 2026 could be tough. It really could. I am not an expert on the economy, tariffs. I'm not going to act like I am. I will just give you my layman's point of view, my opinion, my perspective. You can disagree with it. That's cool. Be respectful. Just don't come in an attacking manner in the comments towards other commenters. Okay. By the way, read the comments, y'all. If you have time, read through the comments. A lot of good information, a lot of wise comments, a lot of knowledge are being you can glean from these comments, y'all. Seriously, much more than I have, much more knowledge than I have. There's also some entertainment in there. I'm just going to put it that way. There's some entertaining comments too. So it's worth it. It really is. All right. Tariffs. So as we know, and I heard they were going to go into effect yesterday, but actually the tariffs, I guess, go into effect on Tuesday. So in 2 days, tariffs 25% on goods from Mexico and Canada, 10% from China. Now, what I've learned is that over the last few years or so, China has not been so much the biggest trading or importer as much as we think. Is they've been sending a lot of their stuff into Canada and Mexico especially, and then through there it comes to us through Mexico and Canada. A lot of drugs, a lot of bad people come through the southern and the northern border. So I think that's also the thinking behind the tariffs as well. I believe that it's Trump's attempt to bring them to the table, to have them comply more and making better deals economically for all parties. Also to bring especially Canada and Mexico down to help more with reducing or helping the border situation. As we've seen over the last 4 years, is that this invasion is a national security emergency, which is what he's saying. This is a national emergency. So I get that part too. The thing about it, the bad news is, yes, it could be difficult. I think 2025 could be a very tough sled. Even into 2026, keep in mind that, and I'm not saying it's the exact same thing. It just reminds me of when President Jimmy Carter, at the end of his term, and how he took an economic fleecing in his term. And then when Reagan came in, we have this memory that everything turned great right away. It didn't turn great right away. It took a while. It took almost 3 years, y'all. But it did turn around. He even survived an assassination attempt during that, if you remember. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go exactly like that this time, but I'm encouraged by that. That's history. We can typically learn a lot from history. So I think a lot of the American people are not going to have the patience for this, though. I mean, the problem is we've had to endure the last 4 years where the middle class, the regular folks, which is most of us, not all of us, but most of us, have been fleeced beyond recognition. Our faces have largely been ripped off of our head. Okay. I mean, it's unreal. It's unreal. So the problem is with these tariffs, we could definitely see a big, more inflation right away and higher prices on a lot of goods and services. Everything from food to automobiles. And the thing is, people are already stretched. The folks, the working stiffs like us, are already stretched to the max, y'all. So a large majority of the people in America live paycheck to paycheck, literally. They're one personal SHTF from being out of their home, whether that's renting or owning. They're one thread from the extended stay down the street. And then the next stop is homelessness, or a shelter if you're lucky, or couch surf. So, we can hardly sustain higher food prices than we have now. Not to mention fuel, housing, utilities, the list goes on and on, taxes. So I think we need to prepare as much as ever, for sure. The more we can prepare and have some sustainability, some self-sustainability, the more we can mitigate this, especially the next year. Now, it might turn around quicker. But I'm just thinking in my view, but inflation could worsen. Trump did vow to quickly lower the price on food, gas, home, auto. I don't think that's going to be quick. My concern is the next 2 years, because we have midterm elections in 2 years. So my concern is he's going to take a bashing. And if the Democrats get a majority, what will happen the last 2 years. They will do nothing but try to impeach him, just like the last time. So I think if people can be patient, prepare so we can mitigate this short term. Many automobiles are made in Mexico now, more than you realize, and in Canada, a good many in Canada too. 25% tariffs, big. It is. They also import a lot of drugs, a lot of fentanyl, a lot of human trafficking, crime. It's unreal. So there's that too, on both southern and northern borders. Yeah. We need to start making more of our own stuff, y'all. We were virtually energy independent during Trump's first term. Yeah. I know, not 100%. There's exceptions. I get it. But overall, just think about it. Were you a lot better off then? Yep, we were. There's a lot. There's nothing there's nothing anybody can say to convince me that this country is not capable of being more self-sufficient. We have a large country. We have a lot of people in this country, a lot of capable people, and we have a lot of natural resources. I mean, drill, frack, build, infrastructure, whatever it takes. That's why I say it's not going to be quickly. It's very possible. There's no reason why we can't do this. That's my opinion. I'm optimistic. I'm going to stay optimistic. I don't care what you say. Most Americans are stretched right now. That's the big issue I keep coming back to, is that we've had to endure the last 4 years. It could be worse. We could have the camel in charge right now. Can you even imagine the acceleration that would have been taking place just in weeks of coming after you? They're still coming after you, but the good news is they're not in power right now. Still trying. So it could be worse. Much, much worse. A side note here, I saw some other good news. I already like the new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Man, he's not wasting any time. Removed a security detail for General Mark Milley. Man, that guy, what a punk. I mean, come on. Retired 4-star general. You can afford your own security detail, sir. You really can. Can you imagine what he gets in retirement? You ain't got to worry about nothing now, you know. So, yeah, pay for your own security. You and Tony and some others. Many others, actually. DEI, gone from the military. And I like what Hegseth said. I'm going to paraphrase. I can't remember exactly how he said it, but it made an impact on me. He said, from now on, we're about qualifications and being colorblind. So no matter what color you are, if you have the qualifications and the drive, you'll do well here. If you don't, if you can't deal with this, you need to find some other work. That's the bottom line. It should be that way. That's the way it should be. I mean, the military is nothing to play with. This is not kumbaya time. We're talking about national security. What else? Like I said, we need to prepare for a tough 25, I do believe. I mean, look at January. That's some heavy stuff. It was like every day. Every day we had a plane crash or a terrorist attack. I still think we need to keep Trump's security in prayer. I really do. They're not going to stop coming after him or you. So, any measure of self-sustainability is going to be good to mitigate this, y'all. Seriously, keep stacking. Let's see. Yeah, we could get more inflation. Food, fuel, housing. That's the thing most Americans are really concerned. Your food, your fuel, your housing, your utilities. The average new vehicle is $48,000. That's way out of reach of most people. That's just not, no. You got more and more people with monthly payments of vehicles for $1,000. I don't see how they're doing that. I know they're getting that, but I mean, are they living out of them? We were watching this video on it last night. It was Dawg and I, and it was like, and Ms. Dawg said that. He said, "Are you living out of that? Are they living out of that truck?" I mean, dang. So, and that's increasing. That's still going on. People are still doing that. Now, a lot of people are saying the car market crashed and people aren't doing it. People are still buying them. I mean, look around. If you go out and drive, look around. You see them. I'm not saying you can't do that. If you have the means to do it, by all means, get it. And your house. What you can afford. Life is short. Get what you want, but get what you can afford. Be smart about it. I'm all for trade. Trade is good. It should be fair to all parties. I like how Trump said, find another sucker. I'm not your sucker anymore. I'm not like the last guy. I like that. There's also respect. These other leaders of other nations, they may not like him, but they respect it. They're not going to admit it. And they may even fear him. And that's okay too, I think. I think at least some of that's good. It's not a bad thing necessarily. We are rich in natural resources. Why can we not utilize that? Why can we not leverage that? There's no excuse. It won't be tomorrow or the next day, but it's possible. Why should we be so dependent on other countries? We are oil rich. We seriously are. If you think about, not even to mention the Gulf of America, Alaska, the fracking. We got it. Time to use it again. Anyway, keep preparing though. The first thing I said, 2025 it could be very, very difficult, y'all. could be very difficult, even into 2026. It truly could. Here we go. I'm going to go to a passage too, so stay tuned for the passages. Anyway, I'm not going to say a whole lot. I'm just going to put this in front of you and recap what I was talking about. But this one right here, don't forget about that. It could be worse. Much, much worse. Can you even imagine, y'all? I can't. I really can't. All right. The visual of the day. Hey, Teddy. What's up, man? Teddy's just watching me. I guess he came in here. He heard me ranting, and he's like, "Are you okay, Dad? Are you okay?" I'm okay. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to... First one I will do is from Psalm chapter 50, verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you. I'm going to start over. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you will honor me. But to the wicked, God says, what right have you to recite my laws or take my covenant on your lips? You hate my instruction and cast my words behind you. When you see a thief, you join in with him. You throw in your lot with adulterers. You use your mouth for evil and harness your tongue to deceit. You speak continually against your brother and slander your own mother's son. These things you have done, and I kept silent. And you thought I was altogether like you. But I will rebuke you and accuse you to your face. Consider this, you who forget God, or I will tear you to pieces with none to rescue. He who sacrifices thank offerings honors me, and he prepares the way so that I may show him the salvation of God. Amen. And also, real quick, Isaiah. I've said this one before, but it's so good. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Oof. Amen. I just like saying that one. And keep in mind this too. Faith over fear. Hope that's helpful. Share your thoughts. I've said it throughout. Keep preparing. Self-sustainability. If this video was helpful, hit the like button. It helps me out. If you think it could benefit somebody else, share it. I appreciate it. All right. Let's be safe out there. Have a good rest of the weekend. Be blessed. God bless y'all. See you soon.